Hello, creative friends, and welcome to the Stampin' Squad. My name is Cheryl Dorsey. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today is Monday, June 16th. So I hope that you are getting a good start to your week. I am. I am so far. I'm going to make an adjustment to my phone here because it's leaning sideways, which is not going to help us in the end. So let me fix that. Okay. Well, yes, my week is off to a good start, as I hope yours is as well. I had some friends over this morning for our stamp club and made some cards, and that's always a great way to start the week. So things are looking good. And today I have a card for you that for me, it just screams summer. It's summertime, right? So this is the right time to make this card, and I think you're going to love it. The colors are fantastic. So if you are live with me today, or if you are watching the replay, say hello in the chat. I always love to hear from you and know where you're watching from. That's always really fun for me because people come from all over the place. Hi, Carla. Yes, school's out. Yeah, I know that's a big relief for a lot of people. So summer has started, and I think it actually officially starts according to the calendar later this week. So we are in it. We are in it. And it's hot where I am right now. It's hot in the summer. It always gets hot in the summer, but it's a little ahead of schedule. I'm sorry to say. And I think yesterday it was 101. But by next weekend, we should be back in the high 80s, and that is much better. Ah, Minnesota. Love it. You're probably not too hot there, Carla. Not today. Let's hope not. Yeah, 4 days. Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. All right, let's talk about today's project. But before we do that, I almost forgot. I always like to let you guys know where you can find me. Sometimes that can be a challenge. But if you go here, you will find me. You can email me, you can send me a message through my website, you can see my calendar, you can see bunches of my projects that have measurements and shopping lists and all those fun things. So jump over here if you're looking for me. Of course, you can also shop in my online store. Always appreciate it when you guys do that. But let's look at these little pieces that I have prepared for us. And after we do that, then I am going to show you some of the other products that we're going to use. Yeah, 101. It was not fun. 80. See, that sounds good. That's the kind of summer that I like. 80-degree summer. So I'm starting today with a piece of Blackberry Bliss cardstock. And this is just our normal size card base. It's 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches. And I scored it in the middle already at 4.25. Then this is just a piece of basic white. It's 4 inches wide and 5.25 inches tall. Then I have a piece of old olive, and this is 2.25 by 5.25. Then I've got a piece of the Celebratory Sips Designer Series paper, and we're going to look at that a little more in just a minute. But this piece is 1.75 by 5.25. Got one more little piece of this Designer Series paper. It's 3/4 of an inch by, I believe it's 4. Yes, 4 inches. So those are things I pre-cut for us. I also have here just a scrap of basic white. This is a scrap of bubble bath and another little scrap of basic white that we will be using today. Okay, so I said we're using Celebratory Sips as the paper, and I think I'm going to show you the stamp set and the dies first, just so you know what we're working with. And the Celebratory Sips is actually a suite in the online exclusives. And here is the stamp set, and we're only going to use a couple stamps today, but there's a bunch of stamps here. And there are also dies to cut out all these things that you see here. So as you can see, the theme of the suite is what I would call summertime drinks, summertime adult beverages, maybe, but it could just be lemonade or something. And then lots of garnishes for our drinks. So there are some of them. We are going to use some of the dies today. Then the suite also comes with two embossing folders, these little thin embossing folders. We're going to use this one today, and it also comes with one that has this really pretty floral design. This is the one we're going to use today. And let's talk for just a minute about the paper. So one of the sheets of paper, and my paper is cut up because I've been using it. One of the sheets of paper has all these cute little garnishes. And so you saw with the dies, many of these will be cut out with dies. So you don't even have to stamp and color. You could just cut them out with the dies. So, there's a few of them that don't have a die, like this little lime doesn't have a die. And you can just fussy cut that. I fussy cut a bunch of these the other night. So gorgeous, right? The back side, I don't know if this will show up very well, but it's our new color Secret Sea, which is just a really, really deep, deep dark blue. Then we've got all these fun, here we go, all these fun beverages, all kinds of things there. And the colors are fantastic. Carly, you're correct. It's gorgeous. This is really beautiful paper. And here's another piece. And we'll look at the back of these. This is that old olive. And then this with the cute polka dots. So, so summery. Got a couple more sheets here. And of course, there are three. I'm kind of three. Of course, there are two of each of these that I'm showing you. So here's one. And the back. And then this cute floral. And the back of this one, the timid tiger. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right, there's one more piece. I'm going to save it for just a minute. And we will look at it in just a few minutes when we kind of get to it in our project, because we are using it in our project today. I think I would like to start with stamping. So I'm just going to scoop these things kind of over to the side. And let's take these full scraps. And I'm going to use my Blackberry Bliss stamp pad. And I'm using two of the stamps that are in the stamp set I showed you. So the first one, let me move these down here so I can see a little bit better. The first one just says cheers. And we're going to die cut this out. So I'm just going to kind of put it right here in the middle. And then this one says let's celebrate. There we go. I love that little tiny, those little tiny letters. It's cute. And we're just going to hand cut that in a minute. All right, I'm going to set those aside. And now I'm going to stamp on these. So this is part of the paper. I'm going to show you a whole sheet in just a minute, but I'm going to stamp with, I think this is smoky slate. Yes, it is. I'm going to stamp the outline of my glass, my beverage glass. So I'm going to ink this one up. It's kind of a short little glass. Let me get it down here where I can see. And I'm just going to stamp this on here. There we are. And you see the way I stamped it. I left a little white space right in here because when you have a beverage, hopefully it's not filled all the way to the brim because that might get messy. So I left a little breathing room up at the top. I'm going to do the same thing over here. This is going to be a tall glass. Let's get this one in and leave ourselves a little room at the top. There we go. Now, those pieces I cut from a sheet like this. So that's a lot of glasses, a lot of drinks. So it's so I think it's so great because the colors are so vibrant and fun, and it makes it so easy just to cut these apart. We're going to die cut it out. You could stamp and you could color it in, and that would be fun too. But sometimes the ease of being able to die cut something instead of coloring or stamping is good, right? Sometimes easier is better. Yeah, if we're going to drink all those drinks, we've got to have friends, right? So now I'm going to stamp some ice cubes in my drink glasses. And so this is my white ink. The white ink's a little bit different from our other ink pads. It's like a white craft ink, so it's very thick. And so you can see here where I've squirted some white ink on this ink pad. And I'm going to ink this up. And let's put a couple of little ice cubes in here. I don't know if you can see them because, we're looking through the glass to try to see the ice cubes, but they're just like faint images of the ice cubes there. But it adds such a fun touch. So let's do it on our other glass as well. And I'm going to turn it around. And so let's do this one right here. There we go. Again, it's just really faint in the background, but super fun. It's super cute. All right, now die cutting. Let's do some die cutting. Let me grab my machine. I think I'm going to turn it around this way today so I can crank with my left hand. Let's see how that goes. Grab my plates and let's start with these. Pull that back just a little bit. I've got my dies here. See if I can line that up. There we are. I'm going to hold it in place with a little post-it note tape. Okay. And now we have a die for this one. Get that lined up and hold that down. And actually, I'm not going to do that because I got something else to show you. Okay, I'm gonna hold it down just right there because this die set comes with another die. And this one kind of embosses. It kind of cuts the paper, but like in an embossing fashion. So it makes our glass look like it's etched, right? Like it has some etching on it, which I think is super fun. Okay, let's go ahead and run these through, and then we'll die cut some more in just a minute. And trying to get a little creative with how to do things these days, but that's okay. One more crank. There. So let's take a look at what we got here. Fun. Fun little glass with our ice cubes. I'll set that out of the way. And here's the other one. Can you see the little etching on the glass? I think that just makes it so fun. It feels kind of retro to me. All right. Now we've got to like hit a couple more things. I'm going to grab this piece of basic white and I'm going to use one of the circles from the Stylish Shapes dies. And let me tell you which one it is. Hold on, let me find my ruler and I will tell you the size of the circle. It is approximately 2.5. Where it's going to cut is going to be about 2.5 inches. So if you don't have stylish shapes, you might have some other dies if you can make one approximately that size. Then I'm also going to load on here my little cheers, and I'm using a die from the Beautiful Butterflies die set because it was just the right size. Thought it fit perfectly in here. So I'm trying to see if I have this centered. Pretty good. There we are. Let's run these through and see what we get. Yeah, my hand has had to get stronger through this, and so it has actually been performing pretty well. Pieces there, move this out of the way. Oh, Carla, my hand is getting better. I'm doing some physical therapy and some exercises for it, and yeah, my wrist is healing. So I think that I have probably a couple more weeks with the brace, and then I'm really hoping I have another doctor's appointment. I'm really hoping he will say, you can take the brace off now. Everything is good. So that's what I'm hoping for. Thank you for asking. It doesn't really hurt unless I, try to do something I probably shouldn't do yet. And then sometimes it gets a little mad at me, but it's not bad. All right, all these fun things. Let's just start with this. Let me grab my glasses. And what I hadn't showed you yet is these are some of the little things that I had die cut and fussy cut out for this card. Let me just show you an example. I've got several of them just sitting on this piece of white cardstock. Isn't that fun? Look, oh, they're so cute. They're so cute. All right, let's arrange some things here. I need some glue. Oh, thanks, Marlene. I am glad too. I am really glad. Okay, I'm just gonna put this right on here. And then this one is gonna go right next to it. So I'll go ahead and put it on as well. I love the back of that paper. Really fun. Okay, now I want to use this little orange peel. Where should it go? Maybe I'll put it like right about there. Who's thirsty? Anybody getting thirsty? I'm gonna set that down a little further. There we are. I love it so much. All right, now we've got, I think this is mint, a little bit of mint, and this is strawberry, a little strawberry. Maybe those will go here. I have another card that I made earlier. I'll show you that one at the end. But the possibilities are endless. And the strawberry. It's very refreshing. Let's put that right here. I love it. I love it. Hold on. Let's look. So we can see our glass and the etching on the glass, our nice little herb and our fruit. And you can see the little ice cubes there. So fun. All right. Now let's bring back some of the other things. You know what? I need my machine one more time because we're going to emboss this piece. We're going to use one of the embossing folders in this suite. And here it is. We're going to use this one. So let me get my platforms and make sure I have the right sandwich here. All right, for regular embossing folders, this is just a regular one. It's not a 3D. We're just having number one and then number three. And then we're going to put this in here. And the way that I'm going to position this is, let me look through here. So the actual design ends, it starts here and ends here. And I'm just going to position this so the paper sticks out just a little tiny bit beyond the design. I think I got that in there straight. Maybe, maybe not. Okay, there we go. All right, now I'm gonna just squeeze that closed. I'm gonna put this down and put number three on top. And let's send this through. All right, because this is really fun too. It has that same kind of idea, that pattern that we are familiar with from glasses. Hopefully you can kind of see that. Super cute. All right, now we can think about putting some things together. So this is my card base. I'm going to fold and burnish. There we go. And now this is just going to go right here. So let's put it on. And I was trying to decide which part I like better, which way I like it. Which way does it make more sense to me? And it actually makes more sense to me to have this side be up, but I don't think it matters really, as that is not the focal point of this card. So I don't think anybody is going to be examining that too carefully. You could do it either way. All right, now let's grab that piece of designer series paper and we're just going to put it right up against the cardstock there. So let's do that. Here we go. So bright and cheerful. Those little flowers, really cute. All right, now I'm going to layer here. I'll layer it like this, but I don't want this bubble bath sticking out on each end. So let me grab my paper snips and I'm just going to do it about like this. Right here and on the other end. Okay, now we'll just adhere this to this. So I'm going to put just a little bit of glue right here. I'll hold that together. Pick this up so I can work it to make sure I got it straight, kind of centered. There we are. On. Let's go back to our drinks. Gonna put these on. I think I'll use dimensionals. And this is gonna go right about here. So let's grab some dimensionals. I'm gonna put one right up here to kind of help support that. And then we'll stick some more on here. This is a really, really fun, sweet. Besides the products that we're using today, there's also some ribbon that goes with this. There are embellishments. We're going to use those at the end. Super fun. Let's see. I think that good would look good about there. And this, I'm not going to pop this up. I'm just going to glue it to the front of my card. Right in here. All right, I'm going to pull it down here where I can get above it and see if I've got it straight. There we go. That's pretty good. Now we need some bling. We need some bling. Let's see. So the bling embellishments that come in this suite are the holographic resin dots. So we can put some of those on here. You grab my pick your pick. tool and see if I can. Oops, I just dropped it. Hold on. Let me use the other end and get underneath it. There we go. Okay, so let's put one here. And let's go back to this end and see. I think I need to squeeze the putty to make it more sticky. There we go. Let's put one right here. And we'll do one more. Do one more. Mhm, mhm, mhm. I don't know. Why is this a hard decision? I don't know. Maybe right up in here? Sure. Why not? Why not? And I'm so excited about fixing the outside of the card. I'm just about to forget the inside of the card. So let's do that. It would be kind of hard to write on this Blackberry Bliss. I think it might not show up. So we want to put some white cardstock in there and let's decorate it a little bit with our designer series paper. Let's just put this on, give it a little color, a little oomph. And we'll put this on the inside. And has anybody been shopping the sale, the BOGO sale that they have going right now? I know I've already placed a couple of orders myself. So it's buy one, get one 50% off for sweets and sweet products. So yesterday when I placed my order, I didn't need to buy any sweets, but I needed some designer series paper. So I wanted an extra pack of this because I'm already using a lot of it. So I went on and I got this paper and I bought some of the lavender, the perennial lavender paper. And so, one of them was half price. So that was good. I liked that. I love it. It's so fun. All right, let me grab this other one over here. There we are. Mm. So it really looks different when you use the different drinks, the different colors. It really kind of pops a little bit different. So this one, I set it lower down because we ended up with something taller, much taller than what I had on these. So I just scooted that down a little bit on that one. But fun, 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 fun. Okay, so tell me what you think. Does it look refreshing? Does it make you thirsty? Oh, I think they're so fun. So I've already cut out a stack. Like I took one sheet of this and cut them all apart. So I have a stack that I can just start stamping the outlines of the glasses and then die cutting those. And I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And then they're ready to go whenever I am in the mood to make a card with this. And the same with these little garnishes too. I mean, I'm already well on my way, right, to getting a bunch of those ready. And then that just makes it so easy. The cards come together really quick. All right, you guys, that is what I have for you today. Yeah, it's sometimes just there's certain projects that really lend themselves to kind of just doing some of the work ahead, and then you can use it later in whatever way that you like. But I do try to do that sometimes because it does save me time, and then I am able to send a really cute card without a lot of effort. The Seasons from, Christmas last year? Is that the one, Carla? I'm trying to think of what that one was, and I'm not sure. Not sure. So, cheers to you, I guess. Um, those are the celebratory sips cards that I wanted to share with you. And I told you about the sweet sale. If you need help with that or you just have questions about it, you can email me. Oh, and I always forget to tell you guys, underneath the video, there's a description down there. You might have to um, you might have to click more or see more or something like that. But it'll get you down there. And down there, I have a link that goes to this project on my website. So if you didn't catch the measurements or you want the actual shopping list, you can click that link in the description down below and get that list if that's something that you need. And I've got other stuff down there. I've got my links to some stuff on Amazon for like my favorite crafting helpers for other things I use in crafting that Stampin' Up! Doesn't have right now. So there's some links for those kinds of things down there too. And also for Stampin' Storage. When we moved into this house, I bought Stampin' Storage organizing solutions because I needed that. And I love those products too. So if those are things that you're looking for, you can find links down there. I think the last thing that I wanted to tell you, besides, I hope you'll come back next week, because I like chatting with you guys on Monday afternoons. Um, I just want to make sure everybody knows about the Stampin' Up! Virtual album retreat, the first one that they're going to have, and it's in July next month. And it's 3 days. And I just placed an order for my kit for that event yesterday, and I cannot wait for it to get here. You can find out more about that on the website, or you can just shoot me an email and I can provide you with more information. I am not a scrapbooker, you guys. I've never scrapbooked. I make cards and 3D projects with paper and cardstock and stamps. Um, but I thought, you know what? I'm gonna give it a try. And because it comes with everything you need and it actually makes 12 two-page layouts, like it would have lots of pages and ready to go, and someone's gonna show you step by step how to do it. I was like, well, I have to try that. I have to try that. So I have ordered my kit, and so I will be online with Stampin' Up, watching and learning how to do that. So if that's something that you're interested in, I would recommend that you give it a try too. All right. Oh, with the vellum. Yes. Okay. Okay. I remember that one was so gorgeous. Lisa. Hi, Lisa. You can always rewind, right? Rewind and watch the replay. But okay, well, that's it. That's it for Monday the 16th. And I will be back next Monday with another fun card. Oh, last announcement. I'm hosting mystery stamping this Thursday night on Zoom. So if anyone is interested in mystery stamping, again, send me an email, which is in the links down below the video. Send me an email. I'll send you clue number one, and you can meet me and our stamping friends online on Zoom on Thursday, this Thursday. So, all right, that's it. I can't think of anything else to tell you. So I will just see you next week. I hope that your week is fantastic. See you then. Bye bye.